Oh, we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brad Tassell. 1000 Marriage Questions. Welcome to it. We talk about your marriage. We make your life better. I want to thank the 3,000 to 12,000 people a week that have been watching this show, and get a hold of us. We would love to hear from you if that's possible. So this week we've got a lot planned. The first thing that I want to talk about is and by the way, we have Joe Marlotti, professional comedian, is also here. We're going to ask him when the last time he was a professional comedian too, because in the time of COVID, it's been tough. And Donna Wilburn. One thing we're going to talk about today is when was your marriage tested the most? Think about this, everybody, in your lives. What time, what years, what months, when in your marriage was your marriage tested the most? Also, we're going to do one of three things so they can choose. We're going to go through things men should never do in their marriage, or things men must do in their marriage. It's two choices. Plus, we will have things from the bucket. The first question is going to be, why does my mother-in-law think she has a say in how I raise my child? So that is going to be what I'm asking. So that was Joe Marlotti, everybody. So who obviously does not go along with his mother-in-law. And we'll find out about that soon. If you could see his face right now, you'd know there was trouble coming. So, but first, as far as your marriage being tested, my wife and I were just talking about this in regard to the weather, because where we are now, it is 95% humidity, and it's not that hot, but you stand outside for 5 minutes and you're just sweating through. And we were talking about the 7 months that I lived in Las Vegas alone in a hotel room without my wife, without my daughter, and how that was the most stressful time in 30 years that my wife and I have been together. It was so hard to be, and I've been away a lot as a comedian, but to be not see them for 29, 30 days sometimes in a row was very stressful. But there were bright spots. And that's one thing I think people need to think about, even when you're in trouble, like pandemic land right now. My wife and I try to discuss the bright spots of this. What's going good? What is even better? What are we liking about this? Not just being negative all the time. So even though I was gone all the time in Vegas, there were some great bright spots. One was the weather, as Donna will tell us because she lives in Vegas. It's 140 degrees, but you're not sweating to death. I loved, and my wife loved the weather. We would walk outside for 2 hours in 100-degree heat with enough sunscreen on, and we would feel great. She could wear a sweater. Also, when they came out, we had a ball. We would eat. We would have such a good time. We loved being out there when we could all be together. So those were the bright spots there. Okay, so let's just start the show, bring everybody in, and they can answer their questions. I think this is the opening.
1000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage. We aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun.
Yeah. Hello, Donna Wilburn. How are you?
Hello, doing good, staying inside because it's that 140 degrees. So I'm not going outside. Plus, there's crazy people out there not wearing masks. So I'm staying in here.
Yeah, they're not wearing masks is rough. But the heat is so dry. It's so nice. It's so
hot.
It is hot. It is hot. And of course, Joe Marlotti, professional comedian in St. Louis, Nevada. I mean, St. Louis, Missouri.
Might as well be.
I might as well be. How are things going in St. Louis?
It is the weather's just like it is for you, Brad. It's terrible here. It's horrible. It's like 7,000 degrees with 400% humidity, and we have there's like birds dropping from the sky. It's terrible.
Is it raining right now? It just started storming here.
No, it will as soon as I'm surprised it isn't since we just started the show.
Just yes, it's nothing like this to cause a storm. So,
Indeed.
So the big question, first of all, when was the last time you got to be a professional comedian?
Well, that's a good one, isn't it? I haven't been a professional comedian since March. I've done one show, and it was at a courtyard for a condo complex, and people they paid me in Venmo, and I made I made dozens of dollars that day. And since then, I really haven't done much of anything. I'm looking forward to when my local club, when our club opens here that I work here in St. Louis. But they've been they're being very, very careful about how they open. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'll get a gig.
Yeah, I hope you get a gig too. That's how he's a little laggy. Donna, you noticing he's a little laggy today?
Little delay,
the internet is a little delayed. We
like
got
the Japanese movie with the title, like the voice over here in the picture.
Yeah, the lips aren't matching up.
There might be here. You're right about that. I am laggy. Hold on a second. Let me see if I do this. If this makes it better. No,
not at all.
How about
it? Technology from 1988. It's great.
Can I leave and come back on? Because quite frankly, you know what's really weird is you guys are laggy to me.
Well, it's your fault. Go ahead, do that, and we'll talk.
How do I do that? I'm leaving the studio.
Leave the studio. I'm so sick
of that way.
I'm sick. Get out. Go to your wife. So okay. Well, Donna, before he comes back, I was talking about the most stressful decades or days or weeks or years of your marriage. What were they?
So I thought about it as you posted. I'm like, when was my marriage tested? Was it at this time? No, didn't feel like a test this time. So the only time that I can really think about where it felt like we really had to get our couple skills going was when we became empty nesters. It kind of, we had to redesign everything. So we were so used to focusing on making sure the kids get where they need to be or do things for the kids or take care of the kids. And we kind of weren't focused on just us. So when we became empty nesters, it's like, hi, what do we do now? And so we had to kind of develop hobbies.
Well, no, and I think Joe is a liar. I think you're right. So,
wait,
hey, Joe is back. Good to see you. And all those people on YouTube. So actually, Donna was just saying her biggest test in her marriage was when they became empty nesters. She looked at her husband and said, "Who are you? And why haven't we spoken in 25 years?"
Yeah.
Since we had.
What do we do now?
What do we do now? I don't want to talk to you. Ugh. So that was her time. My time was Vegas. And again, when I say tested, we weren't getting divorced. We weren't having, it was just so hard to be apart. And there were things going on that we needed to fix. And fixing it was like, I quit. So if your wife is still with you, Joe, when was your marriage tested the most?
I'm still laggy. So I don't know why this is doing this because I don't have any other programs on.
Just live with it.
I'm living with it. So that I'm living with this. I'd say, you know what? It's being tested right now. This is like the best of times and the worst of times because I have traveled extensively for as long as we've been together, you know, and even before then. So there's always been time where we've been apart and she's been able to pursue her goal of peace and quiet. And now that I'm home, it's really difficult because I know she wants to stab me. And until this thing goes away, I'm in mortal danger.
That's that is
it. Well, but has it been? Because I find, because we had a test of this in 2014, we moved to England for 4.5 months, and I was home every night for 4.5 months. Now, the difference is my wife was very busy. We had things to do. She had things to do. We lived at a beautiful university. We traveled all over Europe. A little less of a test because it was really fun and planning. This is a little different.
Yeah.
And we had, discussions and talks and arguments, but I think it's actually this has been a really good time. And I kind of dig it. I wish I could just never leave again.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way, Brad. That's why I say it's like the best of times and the worst of times, because I really love being with her. I really do. At 5 o'clock when she leaves the office, which is basically my old office, she comes downstairs and we have a drink. We sit out on the porch. We enjoy each other's company. I ask her how work was. I pretend to care when she tells me, but then I know there's a point where she's just looking at me like, God, I wish you'd go back to being on the cruise ships or something. I believe that. She can hear everything I'm saying right now. So if I do get stabbed live, at least I have some documentation.
That's right. We're not going to say anything if she sneaks up behind you. We're just going to sit here and you'll see Donna's eyes get big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm a poker face. I'll just be talking just like
I know you will.
Bam, right in the back.
My face will show it if she's about to stab you. You will see it.
Yeah. It'll look in the replay. But and I agree with you, because what happens with my wife, and we do every morning, we have this new coffee bar ritual in bed, and it's really incredible. And unlike you, Joe, I just did the last 2 weeks at Crackers, so I got that muscle going. And then I did an hour last night. I had a gig last night, and I just worked, and it was joyous. But the whole time I'm thinking, I don't really have to do this if I didn't, I liked it, and I'll book some stuff if I can, but if I don't have to, I'm going to book as little as possible. Yeah,
it's the whole thing of this horrible virus that's out there, and I'm scared to death of it. And if I go out there and do a show and come home and bring it home and give it to my wife, not only is that going to cause a little bit of a strain on our marriage, but it'll cause a strain on our finances too, because she's working.
That's right. She's the only one for me.
Right.
Yeah, my wife too, and she got a raise and everything. So, and those ventilators ain't cheap. I think that's the name of my new book. Ventilators ain't cheap. So
that's gonna be. I think that'd be. That should be our next podcast. I think ventilators ain't cheap. That's a good one.
If stop doing this, the thousands of people who watch this would give me money. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't ask for money, but they can email me and give me money, something like that. Or they could go and they see you on here and they could go and buy your stuff. Put Joe Marlotti in the damn computer. You got a CD or something out there, right?
Maybe not.
But I do. You can go to Spotify. You can go to any music thing, and you can follow me, and I will get money.
Oh,
you're hand sanitizer.
You're selling hands. Okay, so he's selling hand sanitizer. Yeah, you have no prospects, Joe. No,
I'm in dire straits.
Okay, so let's go to the first question, if you remember it. Why does my mother-in-law think she has a say in how I raise my child? Now, all of our children are now old, but we all went through this, and now some of us are the mother-in-law. Some of us are the mother-in-law. Well, I don't know. Or there's at least another person somewhere, right?
I'm a mother-in-law.
That's right. So
why do you feel that way, Donna?
I know, right? Why do you think you have a say in how your kids raise their kids? 'Cause I'm their mom. But no, I know I'm not supposed to say anything because I was the mom with the mother-in-law, and it doesn't go well. When you tell a mom or criticize a mom or tell her how she needs to do something different, it hits this weird little nerve, and it does not go well. So a mother-in-law to tell a new mom or mom how she should raise her kids, you're just asking for a bomb to go off. Like, that's not even smart.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that we found during this little crisis we're having here, this pandemic. People just don't like to be told what to do. And the more grown up you are, the less you want to be told what to do. And it doesn't matter. It's like, and I also think there's a lot of the mother-in-law situation is one of these deals where it's like, hey, I invested so much time in you. I'm a pro. I know how to bring somebody up. I know how to bring somebody up because I brought you up. So let me please help bring your kids up. And I think there's maybe a little sense of entitlement. Because hell, we're Americans. We're entitled to everything.
But it's not. But it's not help. It's take over. Do it my way. The mother-in-law says, "Do it my way."
Yeah.
And by the way, you're wrong about the first thing you said. That people more grown up, you don't need to be told what you do. Every idiot who won't wear a mask is saying, "Nobody tells me what to do. I'm smarter." The dumbest people think they're the smartest people. That's what makes them the dumbest people. This isn't being a mother-in-law. This is just the bigger the idiot, the more confident they are in everything that they think they know, and they know nothing. They're not thought out. They don't question. They know exactly what it is, and they saw a meme on the Fox News. So I disagree with that. But on the mother-in-law side, the problem is, you're right. The mother-in-law thinks, I know. But the problem is, it doesn't matter whether you know or not. It's not your way. Even if you are right, you don't get to do it your way. So, because I had the same, like with my mother-in-law, who was lovely and did things the right way. She had ideas, and I said, I don't care. We're going to do it this way.
Yeah.
And whether it's no one's dying, if
Right.
if it's during, okay, we're going to put the antifreeze in the milk. Okay, you got an idea. But if it's about potty training, you know what? We're going to wait a little longer. We're not going to potty train at 9 months because your Aunt Marge did it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, everybody's a little different. I think it just takes understanding on both sides on that. But when it gets to be between, and I'm speaking very specifically between a mother and a daughter, that's a different world that I really do not feel like I should comment upon.
Yeah. Well, especially a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law.
That's even worse. Yeah, that's even worse. Yeah.
The man's job to make sure mom, it's the man's job to make sure the mom butts her butt out.
Yeah.
And I do. I'm with Brad with that one. If the mother-in-law is intruding, it's up to her biological son to tell her to, back off. And plus she'll hear that better than from the daughter-in-law. When it comes to mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, like, the mother-in-law has to be thankful she's even allowed in the house, because that's such a delicate relationship. It's women tend to be really territorial, and that dude and that house is the new wife's territory, not the mom's territory.
Yeah.
And if I try to dominate and pee on her territory, it's going to cause like a major cat fight going on. So as a female, warning everybody out there, do not try to dominate another female's territory.
And consequently, Donna has not talked to her daughter-in-law in 7 years. So
no, he knows I know how to do this. And
I don't even know where she is.
Her, whatever you want. It's totally.
Well, I always say,
very smart.
The daughter-in-law and the mother-in-law just need to be polite and love each other and always say nice things. And then the guy hears all the awful stuff that each of them are saying, and then fixes it with both of them. Mostly with what my wife says is a problem, and I go to my mom and say, Mom, cool it. I noticed that you did this. Not my wife noticed. Not my wife hates you.
Right.
Not my wife doesn't like it. But I noticed you're doing this. My wife would never say anything. But
don't throw your wife under the bus. Well, you can't throw your mom under the bus either.
Oh, no, I'll throw my mom under the damn bus. My dad, too. I throw my dad. My dad has a tendency to say stuff about other things that my wife will think he's talking about her, even though he's talking about other people.
Yeah.
That person is this and that. And she'll think, wait a minute, I'm that. Wait.
Yeah.
And I'll have to go to my dad. Dad, why are you saying, you gotta watch what you're saying.
That sounds like marriage.
Yeah, right.
How dare you?
Everything personal.
Are any of your parents still alive, Joe? We don't know.
No, actually, none. Absolutely none. And it never really got to the point where we ever had the mother-in-law problem, because by the time we had kids, they were all gone. However, I do have many friends who are having that issue right now. One of whom we just talked about this recently, and it can really, really have long-term lasting effects if you don't do something about it. And I'm like, that's why it's a good question today, because you do need to speak up, especially if you're the guy and it's your mom, right? I agree. I agree with Donna on this one 100%. Have you noticed I defer to the women 100% on every question?
Just keep doing that. It goes really well.
This is what I've said. I've said all these things the same. I said you can agree with me too on this.
But if there is any split between the two of you, I just want you to know.
Right. No.
I'm more right at everything than any of you dudes are.
It's a great segue to the next question, Brad.
She has a degree. She can sign an order and they'll come pick you up. So
that's right.
Well, good. Well, wow. How lucky you are that all your parents are dead, Joe. You haven't had to deal with that.
Actually, kind of yeah. We really did.
My
We
God.
lucked out on that one.
My parents
yay.
hanging on.
Yeah.
God, I don't know what it is.
Oh, that sensitive Brad.
I know. Well,
So-
I tell you, my in-laws, you want to talk about rough, just, my mother-in-law, so young, 71, died, just passed away on a blink. I mean, it's still such a, and then my father-in-law, another, just at a Denny's, just talking, having a part, talking, and both times, Janet, luckily she was with me when her mother died. We were driving home. The second time, she's in an airport in Florida. And now I've got to call her. We're FaceTiming. Yeah. And I'm like, do we tell her or do we wait till she gets home? But it's like, well, we have to tell her because it's going to be on Facebook in 5 freaking minutes.
Right. Yeah.
So we had to, and now she's got to fly 5.5 hours. And then knowing this without any support, I know. Yeah. Well, on that happy note, you're right. Let's pull it.
Well, this show took a turn.
That took it. Well, that question is the same. Why is I think every week I get a what if the kids catch us having sex? Every week. I do
a story about that in my act. As many.
Oh wait, Joe's got a story for his act. Go ahead, do your act.
This was. I tell this story on stage as though it happened to me and my wife. It did not. It happened to a friend of mine, but it is a true story. Yeah. That a husband came home one day early, and they decided to do what's commonly known in the industry as a nooner, and they were on the kitchen island.
Nice,
crazy.
And their young teenage daughter walked in. Apparently she had a half day of school and they forgot about it, and they were caught in the act on the kitchen island. And really, you can't hide in that situation. There's nothing you can do. Yeah, you're not going to be able to hide behind the wax fruit. So anyway, as they were caught, it was the best. They said it was the absolute best they've ever seen. They look at her, she looks at them, and she goes, "I eat there."
I know. Talk about disgusted.
Yeah, I'm sure she doesn't anymore. But I thought that was great. That was just one of the best stories I've ever heard about that situation.
Let's all say that this was a friend of Joe's. Everybody.
Yeah, a friend. It wasn't. It was.
It wasn't Joe and his wife. It was a friend.
No, we weren't. We don't have a kitchen island.
You don't have a kitchen. You don't have an island or a kitchen. You haven't eaten in years.
We don't have sex.
Not after that. Which end did you walk in on is the question. Was it the head end or the butt end?
Wow. I don't know.
Well, that's a whole different
I think, from what I'm able to understand, it was a very creative position. So one of the ones where you're compromised. There's no way to untangle.
Islands are like this high.
Yeah, and you're up. Yeah. So
you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah. He must have been tall.
Well, were they both on the island though? Now you're acting like he's standing and she's on the island. I don't know.
I don't know any of the details, Brad. I wasn't there. I don't know if there was food prep involved either. I don't know.
An apron or something.
No knives, any cutlery of any kind.
Ooh, I hope there was cutlery. That's terrible.
Is there a cutting board involved? I don't know.
No, I would hope not. No.
Well, that reminds me, I was jogging. The trail I jog on out here, I was jogging today on about a year and a half ago. I'm running around the trail, and I come around the corner, and in the middle of the trail, I see this guy's naked butt in between the legs of a girl. As I'm around I had to jump over them, or I would have stepped in his butt.
Really? They couldn't even move it off to the side?
I don't. Well, it's all forest on the side.
Yeah.
They could have moved it. So why, in all the world, if you want to have sex outside, why the middle of a muddy?
Right. Yeah.
They don't even have a towel. She's laying naked. Well, just with her pants down.
I wish I would have been on my bike in that situation and hit the bell and just said, "On your left."
Right up your crack. Make it a ramp.
Yeah, up your crack. Yeah.
Up your crack. But here's the thing. So I jumped over and I was like, "What are you doing?" And they laughed. And then I went up the trail.
Yeah.
4 kids about 10 years old on bikes were coming the other way. And we're going to see them within 10 seconds after they went by me. So I just started screaming, kids on bikes, kids on bikes, kids on bikes.
Did you tell those kids that they were coming the other way?
No.
Warning, warning, naked people.
Sorry, that was a good one. Come on. That was a darn fine joke.
Double entendres. Double entendres.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Oh, my God. Okay, so
Right.
here you go.
Right.
One more, and then we're going to do these. I'm not sure we have time for another question. Do you want to do things men should never do or things men should do with their spouse?
I vote things men should never do.
Joe?
I defer to Donna.
I was going to say you better defer to Donna. So, and now I forgot what website this came from. So, number 1 in the men things should never do, and then I want you to discuss when you've done these. Number 1, never criticize, demean, or humiliate her. And obviously, sure, don't humiliate or demean, but there's gonna be criticism sometimes.
One time.
Well, as my dad used to say, it's constructive criticism. That was before he had constructive surgery on his jaw.
Yeah. there's no such thing as constructive. I go ahead, Donna. One time.
You'll learn one time. It'll take you one time, and then the reaction to that, you won't do it anymore.
Yep.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Some things do need to be altered or fixed or done wrong.
No, and you can share your feelings, like that hurt my feelings, or when you said that that hurt me. That's how you share things. But if you go, when you say that, you're such a bitch, or when you do that, I can't.
I'm not talking about that.
That's demeaning. We're talking about just
No,
criticism.
that's demeaning. I'm talking about
That's here. Even if you go, that's wrong. Don't do it like that. That's what criticism is. That's wrong. Negative feedback. It's like, don't do it that way. Do it this way. That's
okay.
If you were to say,
no.
Wait, if I'm saying to my wife, when you pull the flex into the garage, if you could pull it in this way instead of this way.
No, that's not criticism.
criticism.
You're asking her something.
Yeah.
But she's been parking by saying how I would like her to do it.
No, that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about, oh my God, when you pull the car into the garage, you always pull it too far to the left.
You stupid whore.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good example, Brad, of what you
Like
do.
in stupid whore.
Never do that.
That's
Right,
the part you need to cut. Okay, now I totally get it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes though, what happens is, as a comedian, and I bet Joe does this, something will happen and I will be a little sarcastic or I'll joke about it, and she'll go, "Why are you demeaning me right now?" And I said, "Well, I guess I have a thicker skin. And I'm just joking." You know what I mean?
I know that's the same way. I'll joke a lot, and it just depends on what mood your partner is in when you joke on that, because sometimes, as we've heard this before, that men have an off switch and an on switch, and women have 4,000 different knobs that all go to at least 12. So, and you never really know. And if you try and do a joke and your wife plays along with that joke, oh, isn't that a wonderful day?
Yeah.
But if you do that joke and you get the, oh, thanks a lot, that was mean, then all of a sudden you're an asshole. So that's being a professional comedian, knowing where that line is and how your wife is. Like, for instance, my wife today, she's having a bad day in my old office. Yeah. And when she comes downstairs, it's going to be nothing but hugs and kisses.
Yeah. But sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you slip and you make a joke and it doesn't go well. But then you have to get forgiven. I do a thing in my act where I say we go to a movie, and this is true, and the lights come down and says, "Please turn off your cell phone." And my wife goes, "Oh no, I left it in the car."
Yeah, and, funny joke.
And I say, I wasn't mean. I said, "Oh my God, what should we do?" And then she goes, "Shut up." So
see, that works. Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
Again,
guys, you have to use your mood detector. you have one in your brain. Everyone has one. You look at this person in front of you before you joke. And you're like, yeah, I'm detecting stress or a little snippy.
Right.
Then we wouldn't have a career.
You know what, Donna? You may have that mood detector.
You have
we got ours at Costco. It's not a good one. So sometimes we're not really good at picking up on stuff.
Well, Joe says we have an on-off
just for every male on the planet.
It's in there.
Joe says we have an on-off switch, but the off switch need to be stomped on 10 or 12 times before it actually goes off.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. We're women. We show our feelings. You can tell if we're annoyed. That is
I
not
can tell right now that you're getting a little upset with us.
We've a little.
Oh my
God. We've just
a little.
By the way, I would also like to say I'm not big on being demeaned or humiliated either. I don't know if.
But guys, take
really
it so better. You guys take it so much better than a woman does. So we have fun. And it's fun.
There's things I don't take, and that's name calling. You don't get to call names.
Yeah, that's because you're a D-bag.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. So, no name calling at all.
No name calling.
You have a button. That's your issue.
Okay. Number 2. Now we have 4 minutes. Number 2, never withhold positive comments. And I would only
do that.
I would only do that if I'm not. Now, I don't do positive comments because I don't think of it or I don't notice. But if I have a positive comment, I'm going to go, I'm going to hold this one.
Zip.
Well, Brad, you and I happen to be fairly verbose, so I don't think that's a problem with us. There are some guys who are a little bit probably more. I don't know why you do that, though. That makes no sense. I say, if I see something positive, I say that to my wife immediately. In fact, I make up stuff.
Yeah.
Women have a good reason. Women do hold in the positive comments. And we have a good reason, because if we share them, guys get cocky and then they do stupid things. But guys should not hold in the positive comments because their woman will stray if they do. So we need to hear it. We need to hear these comments.
And we don't? You don't think this is hard for us, just like you?
Are you crying?
Look at us. You think we got much going on here? We need to hear some positive crap.
Guys think high enough of themselves, they don't need us giving them comments, and they get all cocky, and then they're like, every girl loves me, and I think I'm great. It's so great for you.
If I'm here, it's so big, at least once every couple of days.
Oh, boy, yeah.
I will shrivel. That's all there is to it. But yeah, no.
Talking about your ego? Is she talking about your ego? Yeah,
that's right. Our egos need to be stroked a little bit.
And so does
you do it yourself. We don't stroke our own ego. Women do not compliment themselves in their head. They don't go like, I look good. No, I look good. Women don't do that. So we need it from the outside. Men do that to themselves all day long.
That's not true.
Great.
That's not true.
That's not, no. I keep looking at myself saying,
looking at me. I know. She likes me.
I'm looking at myself in this video going, man, look at me. Look at those teeth. Look how good my teeth.
Hey, you know what, Fred? I have noticed since you have been doing all of these online things, your grooming has really stepped up a notch. Not today, but for the most part, it really has.
Hey, I was up doing this show yesterday, and it was I did the show because it was in my hometown, and I went to dinner at my parents' restaurants.
Yeah.
My dad's girlfriend looks at me and she goes, you know what? For the first time ever, your hair looks really good.
First time ever. What a compliment.
First time ever. Thank you so much.
And who says you don't get stroked?
Who said I don't get compliments for the first time ever?
And how would that fly if that was to a female? She'd punch you in the
first time ever? Yeah.
Well, this is also the woman that said to me, yeah, she'd been to she'd seen a little of my comedy stuff. She goes, yeah, you were funny that one time.
Yeah.
I don't think the other times, I just, no, they didn't like it. Why? Keep that to yourself, you skank. So anyway, okay. Next, we're gonna have to stop. Never stop being a gentleman. You know, that's hard to do.
It is.
I get in the habit of opening doors, doing that, and then
because the older you get, the more the gas builds up.
guys. It's manner.
It's just hard when you're in close quarters. I can't find any place to hide. You know, I mean, it comes out.
Oh, he's gone to gas. He's going to having gas.
Left me hanging there.
Be a production.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be a drama. Okay.
Yeah. I've kind of lost the audio here. I don't know what you guys are saying.
Yeah, you shut up, Joe. I'm going to talk while Joe gets working.
Yeah, okay. Joe needs to tone down the drama about the gas. That's what I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I try and be as much of a gentleman as I can, but I mean, there are familiarity, of course. Sometimes you get, when you get familiar with something, you don't do the things you normally need to do. And it's like, I agree with it 100%. I'm not, I could be more gentlemanly. I could do a better job.
Good job. You're getting this.
We can all do a better job, but you're right. We get to a point where we're like, well, I kind of like that we don't have to do this stuff. But now, the one thing I would think is don't send flowers too much. That just...
What are you talking about?
Look, because some people think that sending flowers and they do it too much, they look like they're doing something wrong. But being a gentleman,
that's the guy who doesn't send flowers.
Yes.
Sudden send flowers.
Right.
Doing something wrong. If you don't want to get caught doing something wrong, send flowers all the time. And then when you actually did something wrong, she won't even notice because she gets flowers.
But I don't think it's a money. That's every once in a while, but I don't think it's a money thing. Flowers like that. I think it's more of an everyday thing, trying to be more respectful and the opening the doors and doing things like that.
You're trying to be lazy. It is the flowers. It is the gifts. It is the nice little things. It's a little note. It's a little something. Don't say, oh, be respectful and I don't need to do Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's Day.
I don't do Valentine's Day. Look.
I don't think she was accusing you, Brad.
I think she was, because I'm telling you right now, I could set up a thing where flowers are delivered once a week forever. And you know what? I wouldn't have anything to do with it. It would have nothing. Oh, great. All it does is my credit card pays $12.
No, your wife gets to see new flowers every week. That's lovely. That's
lovely.
No. I think it should be more thoughtful than that.
You're trying to get out of it. Because you don't want to.
I think what Brad is saying is that I think he's saying there are other ways to be a gentleman rather than the traditional corporate,
they're flowers. They're beautiful.
Well, they are. I go pick my own. I pick my own flowers, give them to her along with the hydrocortisone because of the poison ivy thing that happened that one time. But it's the gesture.
Okay, the show's too long. Hold on. I haven't even played. I have to play the little ads. So get ready.
Voted Michiana's #1 restaurant, Doc Pierce's will open on Monday, May 18th, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Carryout will also resume with service to your car or walk-in. Come in and enjoy all Doc's classic dishes and appetizers, plus daily specials and drinks. Call 574-255-7737 for reservations, carryout, or curbside. We politely request that all guests wear a mask while entering and exiting the restaurant. Our goal is to ensure the safety of both our staff and our guests. Doc Pierce's The Doctor is In.
And all right, so do that. Find all my stuff. We're going to have to finish all the rest of these next week. Joe, if you want to come back, you can come back.
Hey,
I'm with anybody else. Although, I'm going to tell everybody that I just talked to a couple people. We might, Donna, get the couple that not Pawn Stars, the Storage Wars couple that does the auctioneers.
Yeah.
Have shown interest. And they do a lot of fighting, so that's going to be interesting to see what they say. They are fighters.
Great.
So and a couple other reality show people have shown interest.
Oh,
So we will dump Joe immediately. If not, but if they're not here, Joe, you can come back every week because it's always fun and you have good insight.
Well, yeah, I'd like to do it sometime with my actual wife.
I know. We're waiting for that.
Yeah, she's got a job.
I know. But she just has to take an hour ahead off. It's 4:00.
Yeah.
she works. Working.
I know she works. But try some week to get a Wednesday where she can take the hour.
Will do.
All right.
I enjoy this. I really enjoy this with you guys. I think we've helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
You and I don't think Brad.
We'll have 3,000 to 4,000 people.
What? No, I don't know, but helped. Yeah, sure.
Very helpful. And Joe, I think you have good insight. I think you have good insight into marriage. You've raised children. You've somehow gotten rid of your parents. Don't know how that happened, but and you know stuff.
I think he has good insight and just does whatever his wife wants him to do. And then
that's it. Pretty easy.
Donna's just saying that because you keep agreeing with her.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, the show's over.
Okay.
Say goodbye, everybody.